What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Friday. Welcome in to another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt, and we are back after a winning day, but dang it, that should have been a sweep. If we had swept, we would have been up for the week. Instead, it's just a 2-1 night, up 0.9. Denver had a shot at the buzzer to beat Golden State, to win that game, and it was Jokic. Of all the people to take it, it was Jokic. He misses. Overtime is the place where dogs go to die. Warriors with Steph Curry going nuclear. They win. Denver does not cover. Over in the Chargers-Vikings game, and it was 4-1 after one between Carolina and Colorado. Mark that down for the next time those teams play. That is 5 consecutive games in which over 6.5 has cashed, let alone 5.5, 6.5 has cashed between those two teams. So 2-1, it's a winning day. It cuts into the deficit a little bit, basically cuts it in half as to what we are down. So we're still down for the week as we head towards a Friday. Now, you guys have been asking for it. It is the return of Don't Bet Parlays Parlay. I'm even going to give you a same game parlay because I don't know what to do with the World Series game. So why not? I'm going to give it to you. You can play it on Hard Rock Bet. I've got a pretty nice little 3-leg same game parlay for you for game 1 of the World Series. Yes, I am going to the dark side and giving you not just a parlay, but a same game parlay. I'll explain what I think you can bet coming up here in just 1 second. I've got 2 plays in the NBA to give you, but first and foremost, let me tell you about our friends at Hard Rock Bet. They are the title sponsor of the Daily Juice Podcast. Huge weekend on the Hard Rock Bet sports app. You got NBA, you got hockey, a big game 1 tonight in the Major League Baseball World Series, and of course, football. 4 top 10 teams lost last week, and in this new college football landscape, anything can happen on Saturday. Get in on the chaos and sign up for Hard Rock Bet today. If your first bet, your $5 bet wins, you'll score $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. Download Hard Rock Bet today, plus today and tomorrow on Hard Rock Bet, you'll get a college football parlay boost for the games. Boost your same game parlay or your SGP max so your bet has extra winning potential. There are promos every day, so if you're listening to this later on, there's always, you can go open up the app and check out what they've got for you any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and go make your first deposit today. Let's start with that same game parlay. Okay, Blake Snell's on the mound. Blake Snell has had 10, 9 strikeouts over the last 3 games for him. How about we go over 5.5? Like let's not get greedy, okay? Let's just get it to a workable number for Blake Snell, to have 6 Ks for Blake Snell. I think that's a pretty decent number. Even if the Blue Jays lay off his soft stuff and they don't go chasing and they don't swing at balls out of the zone, I think giving Blake Snell in game 1 of the World Series, giving him over 5.5 Ks is a decent bet. Okay, so first leg is Blake Snell to go over 5.5 Ks. Like I said, last 3 starts, he's been way over this number. So this is going very conservative. Blake Snell over 5.5 Ks. Second bet, Ohtani. Look, he's got a rookie on the mound who has been a little bit up and down. He's had 1 bad start where he gave up 5 earned runs here in the playoffs, and he's being handed the ball in game 1. 25-year-old pitcher going up against Shohei Ohtani. Over 1.5 total bases for Shohei Ohtani. If he hits a double, we cash. Triple, we cash. Home run, we cash. 2 singles, we cash, right? For Ohtani. We just need him to get a double. Okay, or a home run even. But Ohtani over 1.5 total bases. And then the team total for the Dodgers. This is an offense that can score in bunches. Again, it's a rookie who has been pretty good on the mound for the Blue Jays, but that bullpen could be a little bit susceptible to giving up runs. Over team total 2.5 for the LA Dodgers. Yes, they're on the road, so we get all 9 plate appearances for the Dodgers. Snell over 5.5 Ks. Ohtani over 1.5 total bases. And the Dodgers team total over 2.5 is a plus 230 parlay. Let's chuck a unit down on it. Snell, Ohtani, and the Dodgers offense, I think, are three good bets to make here heading into game one. Again, if Ohtani is shut down or Ohtani isn't Ohtani, okay, but it's the World Series, and what that guy just did in his last time playing baseball is ridiculous. Hopefully he's not the reason why we lose this bet, but let's jump in on it. It is the Don't Bet a parlay, the return of it on Fridays, and it's a same game parlay on top of that. Okay, bet number 2. Let's go to the NBA. The Boston Celtics are on the road against the New York Knicks. Now, Boston blew an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter at home on opening night against the 76ers. Boston gave up 42 points in the fourth quarter to the Sixers. That was a 26, 31, and 18 quarter before that for Philadelphia. Boston's not happy about the way that they played. Offensively, they were 28, 23, 35 in the third, and then just 30 in the fourth, and they lost the game by 1. Peyton Pritchard did have a shot at the buzzer to win the game, but not really the guy you want shooting there in that moment. In particular, not a 3, but a 2 from Peyton Pritchard. He missed it. Maxey scored 40. You saw VJ Edgecombe come in and add 34 points in his debut. That was an NBA record for an opening night. Boston defensively, they were great for 3 quarters. They did exactly what I thought they were going to do for 3 quarters, and then they fell apart. Now, the Sixers how good are the Knicks? They're better than the Sixers. However, Boston was a favorite in game 1 at home. Now, Boston is a dog. Boston, actually, yeah, they were laying all the way up to 5.5 in that game. But Boston is now a dog, catching 5.5 against the New York Knicks. I don't know if I would have bet this if I didn't watch the Netflix show Starting 5 with Jaylen Brown. Because Jaylen Brown was pretty angry at the fact that Boston lost to the Knicks last year in the playoffs. 6 games, they lost after Tatum blew out his Achilles. And who knows, maybe they would have lost game 6 even with Tatum on the floor, given the way that game was going. But the loss of Tatum really was devastating, and frankly, Boston had no shot after Tatum got hurt. Now, Jaylen Brown scored 25 points in the first game against the Sixers. He needs to be even better here tonight because the Knicks got a big win in their opening game against Cleveland, 119-111. Boston's catching 5.5 points. I think Jaylen Brown is going to be awesome tonight. I think the Boston Celtics going on the road to the Knicks, almost everyone on that team remembers what happened last year. Almost everyone is going to, I think, circle this game and have this game as a big, bold on the schedule as to a game that Boston wants to go down there and win. Again, it's the site where Tatum blew out his Achilles. I expect Boston to have a really good effort. I think they might lose the game, but I think it's going to be a tight game all the way to the end. I'm taking the points. Give me the 5.5 points. Boston plus 5.5 on the road against the New York Knicks. Hey guys, you want to win this jersey from Ricky Pearsall, signed jersey, 49ers jersey from pristineauction.com. All you have to do is be subscribing to this very YouTube channel, the BettingPros YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs, and comment on this video. All you got to do to be entered into the drawing from pristineauction.com. We will give this away at the end of the month in the beginning of November. You could be the lucky name I draw, and you could win a Ricky Pearsall 49ers autographed jersey from pristineauction.com. Last bet. Let's go to the Spurs. This is maybe just because I watched the game and I was so stunned at Victor Wembanyama scoring 40, but I felt like he could have scored 60 if he wanted to. The Pelicans are an interesting team. They've already lost a game. They lost at Memphis, 128-122. The Spurs dominated Dallas on the road, 125-92. Victor is going to be in the MVP conversation all year if he stays healthy, but he has a cast of characters that I'm really, really interested to see what they look like and how they play going forward. Zion scored 27 points, had 9 rebounds and 5 assists in the opening loss to Memphis, 128-122. I think Wembanyama is such a matchup problem. He's such a unique player on the court. I don't think there's anybody on the Pelicans that can really handle him. I'm not sure there's anybody in the NBA that can handle him. And I think him and Castle makes such a monster 1-2 punch. Smoothie King Center, I know, is going to be up for this one on a Friday night. You have, Wembanyama in town. But this number is low. It opened at 2.5. It's been bet to 3.5. Spurs took care of business against Dallas. I don't know if they blow out the Pelicans, but I just don't think there is much of a defensive matchup that the Pelicans can do to totally slow down this Spurs offense. I liked what I saw. San Antonio, let's lay to 3.5 points with Victor Wembanyama and get a W here on the road against the New Orleans Pelicans. So, same game parlay for us with the first bet of the show on the game 1 of the World Series. Snell over 5.5 Ks, Ohtani over 1.5 bases, and the team total over 2.5 runs for the Dodgers is a plus 230 play. Celtics plus 5.5 on the road against the Knicks, and the Spurs laying 3.5 on the road coming up here tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. Those are our plays for Friday. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.